Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Women asked pro-life church to feed her starving baby. The response were predictable. Now, why were they predictable? Well, I'll give my thought, and perhaps you guys just might agree with me.
Is there any way y'all could help with formula?
We
FYI,
have a benevolence ministry. I can take down your information and put in a request for you.
Okay, how long would that take?
We really don't have an estimated time just because we do receive a lot of requests here. Each applicant is different. It could take a couple of days. It could take a couple of weeks. We really just don't have a time frame there.
Okay, you said it would take a couple of days to weeks?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, if approved.
if approved, that's diabolical, bruh. If approved. Fuck the baby's crying in the background. Who gives a shit about that? No. You better hope that it gets approved before we even consider giving you baby formula. Diabolical. Diabolical. Insane, bruh.
You just watched a TikTok from Nikolai Monroe, who called Lakewood Church, whose pastor is none other than Joel Osteen, worth an estimated $50 million.
So, FYI, there were construction being done in the church of Joel Osteen, and people found money in the wall. Yeah.
But as you heard, they did not have baby formula readily available for a mother in immediate need. It would take days, possibly weeks, to get it to her, assuming she applied and got approved. Now, Nikolai isn't actually a mother in need. Rather, she was conducting what she called a social experiment to see which churches would actually help a member of their community. Now, seeing as how all of these churches likely describe themselves as pro-life, you'd think that providing baby formula to families in need would be a no-brainer, but that's not actually the case, because she called 43 churches. And do you want to know the number who actually agreed to help her? Take a guess. 10. Just 10, less than 25%. And Twitter user Smalls2672 put together this spreadsheet of the
insane, bruh. 40 churches and only 10 of them responded. Wow, that's crazy.
First 40 churches.
But see, this is what I was saying next, right? If you were to do the experiment without the baby crying in the background, I wonder how the result will be.
Churches that she called, and it's easy to see how, just like looking at this without going through it statistically, you are not likely to receive help from a church, although you could get lucky if you call the right one. And the tab reports that the reasons for the rejections to her ranged from, the tab reports.
I just realized something, right? Islamic Center of Charlotte. That's not a church, that's a mosque. So, yeah. If I'm not wrong, I think that was the first mosque that she actually called, and they answered right away. If you know, most of these are literal are churches. See, church, chapel, church, Baptist, church in Denver, yeah. Most of these, I'll say, yeah. I think it's only one of them that's actually a mosque, which is number 26, and they're the only one that answers. Well, not the only one. I'm sorry. The only Islamic mosque on here who answer her call.
Not likely to receive help from a church, although you could get lucky if you call the right one. And the tab reports that the reasons for the rejections to her ranged from, we stopped doing that, to just no, with most of them telling her to call a different place for help. And here's a small taste of some of the responses that she got after calling various churches across the country, including Charlie Kirk's church.
Yes, I just want to see if there's any way y'all could help with a small can of baby formula. I've been out since last night, and my daughter, she's not 8 since last night, and she's only 2 months old, and I've been calling everywhere, and they're just telling me to keep calling churches.
Okay, so we have you ever heard of Mom's Pantry?
Yes, I already tried them. They don't have any formula.
Okay, that's our only connection to, our food bank ministry.
That's crazy.
So if they don't have any baby formula, then we don't have any in our office that we could provide.
So she's been going all night and all day without anything to eat. I was just trying to see if somebody could help.
Okay, hold on just a moment.
All right. So she legit sent me to a voice recording that you can't even leave a voicemail to just to get me off the fucking phone.
That's wild,
I
bro.
don't have any. Have you checked with like Crossfire Ministries?
Yeah, I
Do
have.
you attend one of our campuses?
I don't attend, no. I'm just local.
So, like, my question is this, okay? I don't know much about churches, so are they required to keep a baby formula? And if yes, the people who are answering the phone, have they been told that you are not allowed to give baby formula to certain group of people? You know what I mean? Because again, this could have been real. This could have been a situation in which a mother is actually in need of a baby formula and she's trying to feed her baby, and she's just being denied in practically almost every single church that she went to. And so if churches already have baby formula, what is the point of rejecting people who are calling to feed their baby? It doesn't make any sense to me. Unless you're a member of that church, and if you are a member of that church, how will they verify that you are a member of the church? Or do they only give baby formula to a special group of people that are maybe who have donated a lot of money and are keeping track of them? So much questions, so many answers needed. And again, it just amazes me how churches that claims to be, well, according to, pro-life, you know what I mean? If they're pro-life, these people should be like the bashing of, hell yeah, we got baby formula. Bring your kid to the door ASAP. I can hear that baby crying in the background and we need to feed that baby right now. That should have been the attitude of the church. But instead, this is what we got. Why? Because churches are business. They run off of religion, but in reality, they are business. The business is to collect money and keep you in line. I will elaborate a little bit more as we go.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, did you try Mercy's Gate?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have any way to help you with that. I'm so sorry.
Are you a pro-life church at all?
Yeah.
So I'm curious why you would be a pro-life church and you wouldn't help feed a starving baby that hasn't ate all night.
Unfortunately, we don't have anything like that. Have you tried St. Paul's?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, if you stop by around 1 p.m., then we can have that ready for you.
We can do this. I'll just see. Tell me what it is you called in case I have to go get it because I'm a great grandpa. I'm not used to picking up the phone. Okay.
So, as you saw, some were willing to help, most not so much. And the elderly great-grandfather that she talked to reportedly received $75,000 in donations to his church's food pantry after his TikTok with her went viral, and that brought him to tears. And it's just nice to see somebody get rewarded for being a good person. But what I find so crazy is that it was the smaller, predominantly black churches, as well as a Buddhist temple and an Islamic center, who were willing to help, whereas the wealthier mega churches like Lakewood and Charlie Kirk's church, they were not willing to help, despite being much more wealthy than those smaller churches who did agree to help her. And one thing that struck me after listening to a number of these calls is how taken aback so many of them were by her request. Even the ones who agreed to help, like the great-grandfather that she talked to, they didn't have baby formula at their church. He said he would go buy it for her and give it to her because he loves babies. He's a great-grandfather, which tells me that so many churches don't have this readily available. They don't have baby formula or food or a program in place to distribute mutual aid to their communities, which is kind of crazy because like that's what churches are supposed to do, or so I thought. But
That's what
they're
I
not
was
doing that.
That's what I was thinking. Like, are they required to do that? Are they required to have baby formulas and maybe diapers or perhaps some food that are stored in case, situations like this arose? And if the answer is yes, why aren't they doing it? Especially the $1 million churches. I've seen a lot of videos, man, of churches and how they pretty much like just constantly asking for money. And especially, I forgot that pastor's name, but this dude literally bought like private jet from what's his name? That black actor. I forgot his name. But yeah, a pastor flying in private jet, pastors wearing $1 million watches on their wrist, nicest suit and stuff like that. And I'm just like, why? And their response, oh, Jesus blessed me with this. Like, did he? Or are you asking for donation? And instead of, well, putting that money toward helping out the community, you benefit yourself by with that money. Because that's what it looks like to me. Churches, they don't get taxed. And the reason that is because they are, I guess you can say, required to an extent to help out the community as much as possible. That's why this video went so viral. It's because she is, I guess, she was pretending to be part of the community. She was pretending to be in a desperate situation where she needed baby formula for her food. And the people who were supposed to stand up and say, hey, we will help you, these were the people who first turned her down. Not only is the government, but now the people who are closest to you, that you were supposed to turn to, which is the churches that would, that speak about God and how loving God is and how God wants you to help out your neighbor and all these things. Those were the people that if you have nobody to go to, these are the people that are supposed to be in the front line to say, we will help you until you get back on your feet. But instead, this is what we get.
But the one call that stood out is when she was recommended to call a mosque or an Islamic center after she made calls to churches, this just to see, what they would say. And they agreed to help her, no questions asked. Take a listen.
I have a 2-month-old baby, and I ran out of formula last night, and I was wanting to see if there's any way you all could help with a can of baby formula.
We can, ma'am. Where do you live? Do you live in Charlotte?
Yes, I'm like 10 minutes from you all.
Okay. And what kind of formula are you using?
It's the Good Start.
Good Start. Yeah, that's fine, ma'am. If you come over here, we'll help you.
So, as you can see, they agreed to help her. No questions asked. Just let me know where you are. We'll come meet you. That's crazy, isn't it? You would expect that from the so-called pro-life fundamentalist evangelicals, but they're not doing that. An Islamic center chose to do that. And yet...
It's because they don't really, I guess you can say they don't do what they preach. I've seen videos of church pastors getting angry because they didn't receive enough donation. I've seen videos of church pastors getting angry because they got $1,000 rather than $2,000. I've seen videos of churches, of pastors locking the doors and saying that nobody's leaving until they donate money. You make sense of that. I'm telling you, it's a business. It's an easy, quick scheme. They understand that they can use the vulnerability of human being. Religion is very, very powerful. It's a tool that can be used to manipulate an entire civilization, an entire nation. How do you think the Zionists have been able to get away with whatever they're doing? Is because they attach their political party to a religion, predominantly Christianity. Oh, God bless this to the Zionists 3,000 years ago. Oh, this land was promised to them 3,000 years ago by God. That's the reason why Zionists have been able to do what they've been doing for the longest time and getting support from the evangelical Christians. Now do you start to see what's going on here? Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of pastors out there who truly believe in Christianity. There's a lot of pastors out there who truly believe that they are doing the right thing and that they are following the footsteps of Jesus to the best of their ability. Those pastors exist. For example, the fact that, we just seen one pastor who actually, stepped up to help out her starving baby. But I'm going to tell you this, people like Joel Osteen, these guys they're part of a business. They're part of, how do I say it? I'm not going to say it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to go ahead and show you guys that little viral clip because it was going all over the place. If you made it this far, don't forget to leave a like and sub, and I'll catch you guys up in the next one.